One of the things when you're doing the patina stain, and sometimes I do particularly on steel, but you could do the same thing on bronze, is I'll put a real patina underneath called a base patina. And that would be a black or a brown. And then I burnish it back. So in the recessed areas I have a dark. So when I put on my brown and yellow, it gives you more gradations in how you do it. One way to do that without using a real patina is to take the black and spray it on. We'll let this dry. And then you pull it off. And that means it's only now going to be in the recessed areas. And then we'll spray the brown and the yellow. It'll give you a little bit more darks and lights, so it looks a little more realistic. So I'm pulling it off the high points, but leaving it in the low recesses. This will make a much more realistic looking oil rub bronze. That's one way to do it, which is quite nice. That's going to look really good. And that's one of the nice things about the patina stain, is you can pull it off with steel wool and you can gradate it. Okay, the other side we'll pull off with a solvent. It's not as controllable as steel wool, but it won't be bad. What's that? Okay, so you can see the difference between the pulling it off with one and pulling it off with the other. This is much more dramatic. This is much more subtle. First we'll spray in a little brown. Okay, the next thing will be a little bit of yellow. Let me dry this for a second. This is a hair dryer, so you can dry things with a hair dryer pretty easily. Lacquers tend to dry very quickly. Now we're going to spray the yellow on, and then we'll put the brown on again. But you can see how nice and great, and I can go back and gradate this again with the steel wool if I'm not happy with it. That's the nice thing about using the steel wool. So you can see kind of two different looks. A little bit darker here, but rich. And the other side's a little bit lighter. We're going to put a little more brown on it, maybe a little black. Just to give us a little bit more contrast. Okay, so that kind of, you can now see how you can get different possibilities by using either steel wool or solvent.